Just 5. That's not that many abilities to remember the name of. Mind you, if Vansili was here, he'd have no problem. That guy can just spout out the names of every single ability on command. It's something else to watch. But we got something to watch here, Tom. The game is going live, and you can already see a little bit of a skirmish around middle of Scream. Takes Meadow out, and a quick play by Team Liquid to secure the B site. They're coming underneath the tube, rushing into the site where David P awaited them, but got shut down. The rotate of Ambi cut off, leaves Fatino as the only man who can really have impact here. The spike is now down. It's on the floor in front of him. A 1v3, but they have to come to him.
Yeah, a little bit risky, and now in a pistol round especially, there's much more of a chance for them to actually bring this back. He's already gonna find himself onto the 4K, and it had to be Scream to put him down. Dear Lord, that was close to a calamity for Liquid, and we're already in round number 1.
After such a strong start to the pistol, what a way that would have been to lose it, Tom. But 1 round on the board still. Liquid won't be crying too much because as they come into this round, they will be able to get themselves, obviously, a much more comfortable buy. The problem is, Fatino got 4 kills there. He also died. He is just about to have his ultimate online. In fact, coming into round 3, I expect he probably will. And hell, if he can hit the same kind of shots here, that was nasty, man. So nasty.
Well, yeah, it basically means that he can invest a little bit extra into this one. He's now only 1 away from the Bladestorm already, so even if somehow he gets a kill in this round, it could easily change on its head. Hoodie's just been wall banged out of the round there. And there you go, that's Bladestorm already. He's got it. He's dead, though.
That he is. Yeah, the numbers are starting to thin out pretty quickly. Team Liquid running over Vodafone Giants at the start here, leaving just the 2 players as they look to get back into the site. A Classic and a Sheriff is all they're equipped with to do it, and well, Yampy quickly gets rid of the Sheriff, and he's going all the way in to try and take Meadow as well. That's going to put him 1 away from Bladestorm as well, which could be invaluable. You know, now Team Liquid have this option to potentially drop that weapon over to Link and have Yampy play for an ult orb and then pull out a Bladestorm, which could definitely be a turning point in this bonus round.
Yeah, and this is a map in particular where I still think that a lot of the defensive setup for teams struggle quite a bit, especially versus highly aggressive compositions and players in general. So looking at the fact that we've got Yumpy and Scream now switching over to the Duelists, I think that this is a map, especially on the attacking side, that they could do a hell of a lot of damage. So I'm going to be looking more so at Giants to see if they can stop what is currently Liquid running Riot.
Oh, Fatino takes a bunch of damage on that peak. He's down to just 59, and with the operator, probably wants to get a heal up before he goes out for any more peaks. Playing this one much more passive. The round's going to slow down, and Team Liquid, having postured towards the B site, drag the rotates, put their wall down. They're starting to shift back towards A, and Tom, this appears to have worked perfectly because Hoodie is all alone on the A site for now.
Yeah, I think the initial plan was literally just to get the orb and get Bladestorm online for Yumpy. It was something you mentioned going into the round, and well, now he has the opportunity to basically just play a super aggressive entry for the squad. Now, Hoodie is someone I've been quite impressed with when it comes to this A site. Been able to maneuver himself quite well using the Dismiss to get out of those corners, but with already the slows being placed in to make things a little bit tougher for him, we are going to see this push coming through, but the spike actually hit the deck.
That gives the info over as well, right? Vodafone Giants now know that this is definitely an A play with the spike being so close. The Bladestorm on Yampy dealt with. He was so low, just the 1 bullet needed. A shot from Fatino not landing. Hoodie, though, is going absolutely massive in this round, leaving Solkus all alone. And, well, he's got to ace this out. The Spectre in hand. Also, he looks like Scream right now, so there's a good possibility that the 1-tap ability is going to be his. As a matter of fact, playing without his hand on his mouse. I like what he's done with his hair, though. It looks great.
Yeah, no, that's the dream, to be honest. That would be... I'd sell my soul for hair like that. Really, I would.
Yeah, that's
Scream,
the one
if
thing.
there's an offer on the table, I'm just saying.
All I'm saying is I cannot wait for the day that Scream actually does his hair like Jet. That little bit down the side. It's all he's missing. He already has the bun. It would look amazing, like a full cosplay.
I think matter of fact, if Liquid wins Champions, he's got to dye his hair the same color as well.
No, I'd take it 1 step further and 1 step quicker. If they get to Berlin, I want to see them. I want to see Scream first day in a Team Liquid cosplay.
Oh my
Because
god.
the color scheme is perfect. Like, Liquid, if
That's
you don't
true.
do this now, if you don't get Scream to cosplay Jet, he doesn't need to dye his hair. We won't make him do that. But, you know, style it properly. Get a little Jet outfit, put a Liquid logo on it. If he doesn't play the first day of Berlin like that, I'm going to be very disappointed.
This sounds like just you living out a fantasy, but luckily the round's going to get underway, so we can quickly move away from that one. Scream alongside Link have just double entered into the site, and now Fatino is in a lot of trouble, already being picked apart as they dominate the entries into this A site. And while David P, normally known for his lurks, his backstabs, well, I hate to break it to the Giants fans, they did 0 damage in this round.
Yeah, that's
So-
not great. That's
I don't think he's gonna
suboptimal
win this
performance. The interest... Oh, there's a free kill. Now he has to kill him as well. I think he was contemplating letting him go, but now they know where that weapon is. They're on the hunt, looking for him. Look, they've spread their bases as well. They're covering mid. You've also got Sage of Link going towards the B site. I think the spike's just about to blow up, but David P's going to have trouble saving this weapon. They're right up on him. Look at the angle. Link's about to peek as well. Oh, okay. There it is. Secured. He manages to save the Phantom.
It's actually quite interesting because this is
That's not David
obviously the only map that we actually see Soulcast switch away from what has been pretty much one agent for the last few months. We've seen him play the Sky. He's on the Viper here because, although you definitely can run a Sky on ICEBOX, it's not as effective as what we see on other maps, and Viper has almost become a necessity for most teams, if not all teams, when it comes into ICEBOX. So we'll see if he's able to have the same sort of impact. Of course, I think in this specific map, we are looking mostly at the duelist. I'm sure when it comes to defensive side, we'll get a little bit more impact from him. But if Yumpy's going to keep doing stuff like this, I don't know how much Soulcast will realistically need to do.
Patino, as that Blade Storm popped up, didn't use it last round with the Operator. I think he was contemplating it, but then his teammates went down, so it gives them something to play with here. Need to see him peek when that Cloudburst goes down, or no, Ambi's in trouble. And the Shock Dart onto him actually is what finishes him off. That's depressing. Well, it's only David P left with that rifle he saved in the previous round, and it doesn't look like he has much choice but to do the same. It's a 1v5 yet again. This time it's a little bit less depressing because, of course, his teammates did all have pistols. But that Blade Storm used up didn't find any success, and well, Tom, it's never nice. You know, you start to get pretty bored. I'll be honest. I'm the B player. I'm the Viper on ICEBOX, and I know this feeling, David. You know, being the last guy alive, your A players typically going to be Tom and Harry just getting run over. It's never great.
Like, it could be worse. You could solo be an insta die, but let's move away from that. It's gonna be an awkward spot, and I genuinely do worry a little bit for Giants when it comes to this defensive side, because I still feel like when it comes to the A site defense of this map, a lot of it revolves around duels. That's why you see a lot of teams now just going with that sort of Jet Reyna combo. You're almost trying to get aggressive. You're trying to battle versus the players trying to take the site and stop them getting in as easily. Well, if you're going off of duels, I think Yumpy and Scream are arguably the best entry duo in Europe if they're both picking up these, well, I guess duelists. So it's going to be a little bit tougher to really win a lot of those battles. And what we've seen so far is when they do just almost full hit straight into this A site, it's not even been close. Like, they've just been out fragging them.
Yep. Just running over them. But maybe things will change here. Now, Vodafone Giants have been a damn scary team. They've dropped one map. They're on a 10-win streak as well. It's been pretty unbelievable what these guys have been able to do. First team to qualify in this qualifier, at least making it through the upper bracket. Now they have the opportunity to beat Liquid yet again, and Fatino is starting it out well. Yampy dropped on that aggressive peak towards A main, and they're in a bit of a tough spot because it's not very easy to res him there. Like, they have got the res online, but actually getting that off without being taken down is going to be pretty tough. That's map control they'll have to fight for. And there's 3 players here on A. And we've seen this from Vodafone Giants before, right? They love the 3-man stack up this side and go for those early aggressive duels. With Meadow securing Tube, I think Team Liquid have pretty much no choice but to try and get this res off to have some chance.
Well, they will be able to force one back, but with the elevated angle, of the operator. They might be able to pick this back, but they're actually not going to overface. Just looking to keep the man advantage they already have. Well, that doesn't last too long. Link will at least fall for Fatidio, but he's not quick enough to correct his aim. Yumpy floating in from above and leaving just 2 standing.
David P sat there like, hey guys, should we save again? But it's a 2v3 this time. It's definitely manageable. With Meadow getting himself healed up to 100, they're going to go for this, but they need a pick quickly. And that operator is holding for Meadow coming out of the door. He steps to the right. He is most definitely dead. And he's now being spotted. But that gives the opportunity for David P to catch Yampy off guard. A second goes his way. Now all he has to do is deal with Scream. He's being revealed up on the ropes, but the headshot is delivered. And David P gets it done. The defuse coming in. And what a fantastic retake. He saved that weapon 2 rounds in a row and finally gets to use it.
Yeah, I think this has been the most impressive thing about David P. Is just his clutch ability just seems to be off the charts. Even when, again, if you're talking about like when people were coming into Valorant, based on individual skill, David P would not be someone I'd put anywhere near up the top of the list. But here, just reading every single angle, every position perfectly, and landing the shots, like it's as good as it gets from him. First time he's really been able to have any impact in this map so far, and he dominates.
Yeah, again, he kind of got robbed being that B player, right? You're removed from a lot of the action. Now, I do agree with this timeout being called. You think about how this round started for Vodafone Giants. They get the opening pick, taking Yampy out, and they end up then getting still overrun on the A side. And Tom, the worst part about that is they had 3 players there, as I'd highlighted earlier, and each one of them got picked off individually. So at this point, a timeout is definitely the right call. You got to sit back and think to yourself, what did we do wrong? How can we do better? Because if they don't fix that weakness, it's going to be something that Team Liquid just continue to exploit.
Yeah, I think as well, like, you have to look at that round as ultimately still a failure other than David P. Like, he has to clutch out a ridiculous scenario to give them that. Okay, so they've got themselves the lifeline of still being in this, but there's also the fact that now that you've finally won a round, but you've done it with only 1 player surviving. So financially, you're in the bin. So now you have to go into a round with a few pieces missing. And if you were struggling already versus what is such a highly aggressive attack coming out from Liquid, well, it's not going to go any better now that you've got weaker weapons.
Now, we talked about this from Team Liquid, the fact that they might just keep exploiting that A weakness. And it looks like they're not convinced that that timeout will have done a lot for Vodafone Giants in fixing it. That bait was huge. Going up the rope and then having a player behind to follow, that's absolutely insane. Yampy even takes down Fatino afterwards. And Tom, maybe Liquid were right. That pause hasn't done them any good because Vodafone Giants lose both opening duels. They lose the A site, and now the plant is pretty much guaranteed to come in.
Yeah, well, I fully expect now we're just going to see an A site rinse for the majority of this half, because as of right now, there has been no response from the Giants other than a clutch, like other than a 1 versus 3 victory from David P. This time he's not even going to bother rotating because, well, what's the point? Like, they've got to try and save some weaponry through into this round. They've lost complete control of the site. There's already a player watching for the flanks. In fact, I'm not even sure that it's a watch for the flanks from Solcas anymore. I think he's realized, you know what? Maybe I can take a gun or 2 out of this because their economy is going to be looking very good at this stage.
Yeah, I think they're feeling pretty good when it comes to cash. Now, Ami's going to have trouble getting out of here, obviously, with a player towards the spawn. Dealt with Link, and that's a weapon save. Now it's just David P, or as Twitch chat's taking to calling him, Savid P. I like it.
That's good. That's good.
But look, and even the P is for Phantom. Look at that.
Perfect.
It really is.
Sometimes you're just gonna see like emote spam, and then every once in a while you get a gem from Twitch chat that just comes out of it. So yeah, Saved P, it's come through again, or Saved P, whichever way you want to call it. But yeah, this is looking rough. And realistically, Liquid haven't had to do too much as of yet. They're winning a lot of this off individual skill. They're doing well to bait out some aggression from Giants, and they're getting a lot of the opening kills on their attacking side. This isn't like they've changed the meta of ICEBOX, revolutionized what teams are doing. They're just winning a lot of these battles, and it's not going to get any better. They've finally decided to head in towards this B site. And while, obviously, there's only going to be one defender here, because why would you be putting more players here after however many rounds in a row going in the other direction?
Now, wise move as well, up against Pistols to move to B. Because long-range fights, you're not going to lose long-range fights to Pistols, are you, Tom? Well, they are. And they've already lost a few. Now things get a little bit scary because this weapon's retrieved. Meadow not able to do anything with it. Down goes Ambi, and Fatino's last alive, dashing up behind them. But they're ready, and oh my god! Fatino's got both! The Blade Storm's online, and it's a 1v1.
I haven't even planted.
This is definitely winnable inside of that Viper's pit. Well, he can just right-click you up close anyways. In fact, Fatino's probably happy to have that, considering how low his HP was in the first place. Solka's moving around the back. Oh! The shots aren't gonna land, but somehow he's still alive. 6 HP. Phantom picked up, but it's not enough. Solka saves the day, but that came so close with it. One Sheriff and 2 players peeking him. I don't know how he got away with that.
I'm getting deja vu. Like, you remember the last time we casted Giants playing ICEBOX? On their defensive side, they really struggled whenever they had weaponry. And then it comes down to, like, a Marshal and some pistols. And then the rounds were suddenly incredibly close. Like, I don't know what it is about this Giants defensive side, but the second they get guns, it just looks so much worse. So, I don't know. He was so close to hitting that shot through the pit as well. Then again, doesn't look like we're going to get anything new. Back to the A site push. Now, there is a player lurking up close. Will they clear it with the drone? No, they won't, but Fatino's already going to shoot a couple of bullets off. Meadow has at least found one. Now it's left on to, well, you know who it is.
Our boy save at P, but he's not saving this time. Or maybe he is. Maybe he's saving the round, Tom. It could be the way it goes.
Oh.
Spectre in hand, good spray, screams down. He's caught in the fade back, and now at 12 HP, this is starting to look pretty bleak.
Spike planted.
The plan from this point, I wonder where he takes it. You have the option to obviously just save this, but with the Spectre in hand, you're really going to do that? Exits definitely seem like a much more beneficial play, and he is coming up behind them. The timing is good here. They're kind of checking it periodically. Solkas is turning behind, and yeah, he looks at just the right moment. It could have been a bit of a disaster, honestly. If he got around that corner a few seconds later, I think there's a good chance he catches them both unaware.
Yeah, he needed to hit a pretty sweet timing to have a chance, though. Again, it's like a couple of trades back and forth. You'd look at this round in isolation, considering what they invested. It's not a bad round for Giants, but when you're 7-2 down, that somewhat becomes irrelevant. Hello. There we go.
That was palm level for a second.
Yeah, you know, it happens to the best of us, you see. Like, if it happens to David P, it can happen to me. Although mine might be a little bit more silly, and let's not bring it up again.
I love that video so much. Oh, Scream with the opening. Solkas follows up, and oh no.
They're all dead already!
Not how you want your mid push to go. As well, they've lost Meadow, like, second around the corner. That's your res gone. Oh, man. I can't blame Vodafone Giants because they try something different, right? The A site's been overrun. They cannot defend it. That's been proven. Oh, Ambi, watch your back, bro. It's been proven time and time again. They just cannot hold A, so they decide, well, let's just flank them early. Let's rush down middle, try catch them off guard. And they run into the whole team. That's very unfortunate.
3 of them were dead within 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Okay, well, Saving P's back on the ball once again. He's going to try and hold on to the gun. I can't believe how badly that went. Like, firstly, you've got the initial kill from Scream, but then the dismiss that just baits them straight in. Oh, God. It is just the buy run. Just don't buy, Giants. There you go. I've sold it for you. I know you got Pipson as your coach, who might be slightly more experienced than me, but I'm giving you the strat. Just don't buy rifles, and at least then the rounds will be close.
Oh, Save It P's in trouble. They're hunting him down, and not this time. It's going to be 8-2. Team Liquid wiping Vodafone Giants' economy completely. Yeah, this is just looking so bad, Tom. When it comes to buy, we saw it in the last game. We really did. And I cannot believe the consistency from Vodafone Giants in that when they have a buy, they get 1 kill. It feels like it's a maximum, essentially. And when it comes to a round where they have a Sheriff, Classics, a Marshal, they're able to bring it to a 1v1, and it's consistently. I don't get it. And they don't either, because they're calling attack boss to try and figure this one out. They definitely need a solution soon, because Tom, they have all their ults online as well, the exception of Bladestorm. This can be a pretty strong round for them, even if they don't have a lot of money to invest.
Yeah, I guess it gets to the point though. It's like, well, what do you do? Because you can't. They don't seem to be able to defend the A site at all. Like that just hasn't been. Yeah, but even then, I think we saw a round where there was 4 players on in the beginning of the round, and they still didn't manage to hold on to it. So it's not even like it's been like, oh yeah, we haven't thought of to try and put a load of players there, because a lot of the time it is everyone there and then David P on the other side of the map. Maybe put David P there, see what he can do. Like, I suppose he does have his Viper's Pit. Maybe in one of the rounds he can look to try and get that elevated Viper's Pit to lock down the A site and force him in a different direction. That might be a suggestion at least to try and get the ultimates done, or even just like, I know how much you hate it, but trying to pop an early Hunter's Fury, because they're going in that direction so often, you might be able to just get an opener off it.
I think, honestly, one of the solutions for Vodafone Giants in the future is like putting Ambi on a Sage and Meadow onto a Sentinel. It seems to be one of the only things that could realistically help them out. Their defense is the problem. On the attack, it's nowhere near the same kind of issue that we've seen, at least over the last 2 maps.
Oh, there you go. How did that
Early
go?
Hunter's Fury didn't work out. Ambi's gone. It's used up by Cryptix. Cryptix was the one popping that to just hunt them down. And you said the early Hunter's Fury, but unfortunately it was the other side that used it.
Yeah.
And that's just filthy.
God.
Absolutely filthy. I know what Sesh would call that. I won't quite go that far, but David P, it's the last guy alive.
Found himself the holy trinity of kills.
Much to everyone's surprise, David P's the last guy alive. David P in a 1v4 with the Spectre. Of course, genuinely, because I know some people are going to harp on him. There's going to be someone that has the takeaway from this game. Oh, Dave just baits, he just saves, he's the B player,
defense.
you know? He's the B player. Yeah, he's the B player, and Team Liquid have gone A every time except for 1 round. So I'll give him a lot of slack on that one.
And he did clutch one of those rounds.
And he did. One of the 2 rounds. Yeah, 50% of the rounds he won almost single-handedly as a B player. So fair play. You know, he's having a good time. He's not really. He's having a terrible time. He spent 90% of the game AFK. Yeah, diving right in.
Or will he get... No, he's not going to get the gun in time. Yeah, just
I will go down with this ship. That's a good song. You know the one?
I do. Normally when you sing, I don't know the song, but in this case, I do actually know what you're talking about, so that's good. But you can stop now. Everybody got it.
There will be no...
We don't want people to tune out. Like, I feel like with this level of domination, people are already considering it, so
push them over the edge.
Extra reason. But yeah, there's been a reason that people have been calling for Yumpy to go back onto the jet. This was it. Like, the man is just unbelievable. It gives him a second chance with the risky plays he likes to make. And the thing is, at this stage, we've been told that he's calling. So I almost wonder if he's just calling to himself, Yumpy go kill. And everybody else is just sort of sitting there waiting. There we go. Look, we got the Viper's Pit. Beautiful.
The problem is he's behind it. He can't stay inside that. He needs to jump over into it. Okay, he's gotten it on the backside, so that's all right. I don't think that quite panned out the way he wanted it to. But still, you've got that Viper's Pit down on A. Finally, it seems like they found a solution to this. But they can actually hold on to the A side in the early stages of the round. And Team Liquid are pushed back by that. And they've still got players aggressively pushed up on B. They have one watching middle who's now smoked off. The orb that went down is going to completely blind him from seeing anything. And as it goes down, oh, Ambi, he was almost in trouble. He's so far away, he won't even hear it really as it disengages. And so all he sees is just instantly there's nothing there. Great push by David P shooting Yampy. That's the A site control pretty much guaranteed at this point. And now Team Liquid need an answer. This is the first time in the final round of the half we're actually seeing them need a plan B.
Dodging and weaving, but it's not gone too well. Hey, they popped both the ults I wanted them to. I'm happy now. It took an extra round, but they've got themselves a couple of opening kills. There's not a lot of time for Liquid to do anything here. And with the current positions of the remaining defenders, it's going to be really hard for them to get anything done. Meadow already spotting the kitchen push, and they've got Hoodie in the spawn as well. I don't actually know what Liquid can do here, but it's the last round. They've got to try something.
10 seconds left.
Oh, that snake bite lands right on Hoodie's feet. Like a heat-seeking missile. Patino good for 1. Now they've no idea about back yellow, but Meadow almost whiffs it, leaving Link alone. A 1 versus 4, a res online, but hey, he's not gonna have a chance to use that. What? He had no idea where Fatino was. That was an awkward duel, but in the end, it is gonna go to Vodafone Giants. They will secure a 3rd round. at long last. All it took was the Viper's pit on A to stop Team Liquid from going forward. Maybe a little bit late finding a solution there, Tom, but now they've got their better half ahead of them.
Yeah, that is true. Again, if they get a pistol win here, it's not really the end of the world. Like, you can definitely still bring this back. I think if we were looking at another map, like if this was a split and they'd just done a 9-3 attack in half, I'd be calling it done already. But ICEBOX has been proven to be fairly difficult to defend. Like, a lot of teams revolving around a solo Viper hold in a lot of cases and having to try and get very aggressive on the A site, which, hey, they definitely have the players to do it, that's for sure. Like, the idea of Scream being able to take some risky peeks and still get out of there with the dismiss is something that's quite exciting. But we'll see how it goes. But Giants do still need the pistol. If they lose that one, they're so far down that, especially with the performance of the likes of Yumpy and Scream so far, you kind of have to think that this will be over.
Well, we'll see. We'll see if Vodafone Giants can disagree with you. Effectively, David P.
Also lose the
of
pistol
B.
and then win anyway.
Exactly. That's what I want to see from him.
The alpha play.
David's got one. Okay, the push is shut down, but is he ready for a mid play? Yes, he is. The pistol out for another. Now they've got great control. Thinning out this B defense, they have the option to go back if they want to and make that rotate, but it looks like they're still going A. B's open now. David's just solo killing everyone. My God, they're still running into the A site by the looks of things, but now they've spotted out one on the back. It looks like they're going to rotate. They're going to move towards B. It's completely open. David P's covering flank through spawn. This should be a round for Vodafone Giants. Look at where he is. Oh, no. Wake up.
Yeah, I was about to say, he's incredibly low, so I don't know if it was tunnel visioned into a different part of his Scream, but he's giving them a way back into this one. And Scream's actually going to get the boost as well of having that extra armor, at least for the moment. Now, breaking the wall with a ghost, I think he'll run out of bullets before he does it, so they're just going to have to try and play around this a little bit. There is another ghost on the floor for him to maybe retrieve, but he needs to try and find a way back into this round. He's also out of abilities, so it's just gonna have to come down to the headshots. First, we'll go his way. We've had some close pistols, but it is going to be Giants closing things out. And again, we now look at another round that I feel like it's just won by David P.
Yeah, I think I'm right there with you. The mid lurk, B lurk first, then the mid lurk. Absolutely fantastic work with the classic. Yeah, well, except for the A site, but he's been doing that the whole game pretty much. He doesn't like A. I want to see, how many deaths does he have right now? It must be very few, like 6 or something. He saved so much.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, see you later, Soulcast. Vitinho looking like getting into the zone a little bit here. Nice shot to start things off. Full rotation coming in, of course.
Gun here.
David P's going to be on the other side of the map, potentially just trying to catch any rotations, but they're all coming in through mid and defender spawn, and then one player holding to try and stop any of those late lurks.
This is a big force by Team Liquid. They've invested. It's not a full force. A lot of they're all playing without armor, but they have those marshals. They have the sheriffs, the ability to do serious damage. Already taken down David P's lurk through mid. Oh, the player's spotted, but the shot's not going to land. That's a rarity when Yampy's on the scene. He still has the dash as well, so he can play much more aggressive on these initial duels. And they're just lined up. They're trying to firing squad these players and prompt over peaks out of Vodafone Giants. There was the first. Spike already half defused. Good shot by Vitinho. Just seems to be so clean when he's using that sheriff. But you know what, Tom? This isn't as good of a round for Vodafone Giants as it looks. Team Liquid bought up a decent amount. They did invest a lot of their credits, but Vodafone Giants bought 3 rifles, Tom, and they got out with at least one. I think the other was the Spectre, unless they just managed to pick it up the last second.
I think it's always easy as well when you're looking at the purchases from teams to see a Marshal and be like, oh yeah, no, that's a full buy now. But realistically, it's only a tiny bit more than a Sheriff nowadays. So they're coming in, okay, sure, they don't have full shields on the majority of players, but they do have a pretty decent investment here. Rifles for the majority. And actually, Giants have decided we don't want to play this as a bonus anymore. They have pretty much fully invested into this round.
Oh, Judge, up close is always a scary thing. Oh, that's such a good counter, man. Snake bites, shock darts, everything coming through to deal with Solkis, and he is down and out. And Team Liquid playing back towards the B site with 3 players on this side of the map. Much more passive hold on A from screen than you'd like to see, really. But it looks like Vodafone Giants are committing. They're running into this B site. That's going to work well for Team Liquid, or set up for early retakes. They won't be able to deny that plant.
They're going to need to try take a little bit of space here. The problem is, again, they don't have much utility that's going to be able to force players out. They can go for the same sort of strat with the wall, and they also have the shock darts to try and chip them down a little bit, and that seems to be the plan. Just basically sit back and just try and defuse it. They're sticking it all the way this time, and there is nothing that the Giants could do about it. The round already over, and Ambi at least trying to hold on to a gun. I don't think the judge is what he meant to pick up.
Probably not.
I should have saved the judge for my attacking Sova.
Hey, crazy clean, though. The fact that they're able to just stick that right under their nose. Liquid had a clear plan there, and that's double walling it up. Diffusing between the sandwich. A nasty thing to see.
It's cool that we're seeing Liquid basically actively save that piece of utility just for after plants. Like, a few teams have been doing that, but a lot of the time it means that you're leaving other portions of the map a bit more open. Like, for example, you would normally wall something like Tube just to make sure that nobody's playing a lurk through it. It means they have to be a bit more careful versus someone like David P, but okay.
Ambitious. Yeah, that was ambitious. I like it with the Blade Storm going up above, but this time Scream gets the better of him. Cryptic's firing away some shock darts. Gonna light these players up. Doesn't look like he's finding all too much. As they come through the choke point, it's being mowed down. Vodafone Giants 2v4. Meadow, good kill on the backside. Okay, this opens up some opportunities. They have a wall at the moment, and they're about to have the res online. They go, oh, Meadow. Right through. That is huge because Ambi's back online now. They're able to get the plan safely, and even with Link's flank, he has to come through the Viper's pit if they're playing inside it, but once up close, they're stepping around. It looks like they have absolutely no idea that Link can be on the flank already. The timing is huge for Link, who's catching the planter immediately and falling right on back. The slow down on the floor just to make it that little bit more difficult for Vodafone Giants to get that spike retrieved. And oh, Solkis from the top rope drops down and takes a double. That's 11 rounds for Liquid. And Vodafone Giants are, well, they're starting to sweat a little bit, I think.
It seems like Link can even lurk when it comes to the defensive side as well. Like, again, the timing of the flank couldn't have been better, denying the plant, and then, wow. You could see the grin on Soulcast's face after this work, because it's such a risky play, but the fact that he gets Viper just makes things so much easier to pick off Ambi as well. That was a much better buy coming into things as well for the Giants. So the fact that they've lost that based off the majority of the rifles, they now need some sort of hero play because they are in a bit of trouble.
Not the best of rounds to need it as well. When Yampy has this Blade Storm online, it can be so dangerous. And there's the first with Meadow down. He goes up for more. He will be shut out of that. Quick shot by Ambi. That was a headshot with a Sheriff. You'll love to see it. He's going clay pigeon shooting. Oh, Cryptix is going to try to play around this drone. Does it perfectly. Just falling back afterwards. His teammates coming in to support. I mean, Vodafone Giants need a way in, and that wall is going to make it so much more difficult. You're losing HP as you go through. Can't really fight this together, and David P is taken down up above. The chances are starting to really fade away. Oh, the recon. It doesn't get any burst off, though. That would have been the end of the round if it did. And Link is on the flank again. They are not aware. They're completely unprepared for this kind of a play. And so Hoodie as a 1v4 to win out versus all ultimates. And then, yeah, there was just no way. 12-5 we go. And Tom, as I said, every single ultimate is online for Team Liquid now, with the exception of Blade Storm used in the previous round. So I don't know how I'm feeling about Vodafone Giants' chances of 7 consecutive.
No, I'd be incredibly surprised, especially because, well, they are going to have themselves a purchase, but even so, actually, you know, it's better than I thought it would be. They don't even have anything missing. I think they've even got every single piece of utility. But yeah, in terms of ultimates, they're very far behind. Maybe a couple of shields missing here and there, but they're now up against the Yumpy operator because he didn't even need to buy into the previous already. You're gonna see the oh
Spike down.
my god, he just got 2 at the this is done. Let's
At
just call it a
12-5.
day.
Yeah, at 12-5. This is not the start to the
last
round that
one as
Vodafone
well.
Giants wanted.
Gets both kills.
But yeah, I think at this point they're definitely looking to map 2. This is not somewhere that Vodafone Giants are immensely comfortable. We knew that. And I think it's important for the people out there, for the chat, for y'all viewers to know, like, if you're not too in tune with Vodafone Giants, this is a map we expected them to lose. We know that
This
Team
is the
Liquid
only
are
one they've
solid here.
lost.
Indeed,
Yeah, this-
They've lost one map and it's been this.
I will say, I don't know. The thing I will say is that Liquid came into this as an unknown because they just don't really play ICEBOX at all. I think this is the first time they've actually played it in this stage of challenges. So
Yep.
you don't really know what you're coming up against. Also starting on the attacking side, like that's a rough one. It's not been a bad map other than that for Giants, but yeah, I think their defensive side definitely needs a little bit of work. Now, it's a 2-on-4. It's been a quiet game so far for Hoodie, but maybe a chance. Never mind. The Yumpy operator has been unbelievable throughout this map, and he will be there to close it as well.